it's Kevin here. Now, we've got a couple of letters to have a look at for today. And we'll look at the original first, and then we're going to look at Gemini and its interpretation of the letters vis-a-vis criteria. Now, I've made a couple of videos in the last week talking about Gemini, Chat, Grok, Copilot, etc. and how you can use them for certain things, but for other things, you need the human element, you need the human component. So let's take a look. Now, the first thing, now, we're not going to look at the case notes here because, as I keep saying in my other videos, if I have to read the case notes to understand your letter, then it's not a very good letter. The best letters are those which I don't need any other source of information because you've put it in your letter. If I've got to look at the notes, what does this mean? What does that mean? That's not going to work. So first thing, point out here, you need the title, Mr. Knowles. Now I would put age after that. Mr. Knowles, aged, what is he, 50, was he 50, 74 now, is he? 74? Well, hang on, 1951, 70, yeah, 74. So I'm referring, Mr. Knowles, for your urgent assessment of suspected, my assessment of his suspected. So that purpose needs a bit of attention. I'm writing to refer, or I'm writing to request your urgent assessment of Mr. Knowles, age 74, whose symptoms are suggestive of pancreatic malignancy, or are indicative of, or if you're asking for a definitive diagnosis, I'm writing to request your definitive diagnosis of Mr. Knowles, age 74, whose symptoms are suggestive of pancreatic malignancy. You can do that. Now, organization. As I mentioned in a video before, I don't think it was yesterday's or the day before, I was talking, no, sorry, not a video. I was writing to a student, but there will be a video based on that. As a quick aside, I've got another student on italki. He's a doctor, and he's having his writing test. Well, when we spoke, in a week. So he's writing me a letter every day, and I'm assessing it and giving an AI full analysis, which I'm sending him. So the idea is that, can we see progress being made day by day? Anyway, so he did the same thing. This should be paragraph 2. If it's urgent, today's visit usually should be paragraph 2. Writing to request your urgent assessment, Today, Mr. Knowles represented with swollen abdomen, pale stools, pain, blah, 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 blah. Lab test showed. Right, so I would put that. I would put all that stuff. Paragraph 2. I put it all there, right? For urgent referral, usually today's visit, paragraph 2. Okay, so I put it there. I'm not going to rewrite this because the Gemini version has, and it's, can't be bothered typing. So I would, I changed that purpose, right? And I put today's visit, paragraph 2, and blah, 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 blah. I don't think we need that about retirement if he's 70. Well, obviously these are old case notes, but still, retired. Okay. Discussed the findings. Okay, that's good. You can use active voice there. Okay, right. Now let's see what Gemini says. 3 out of 3. Don't think so. Don't think so. Don't think so. That purpose could certainly be clearer. That purpose could certainly be much improved. Depression, the current psychiatric meds. Okay, well, that's it, but still, you know, cancer's the priority. Filtered out social history. Okay, but weight loss, yeah, but retired. Critical failure, general high standard. I commenced him on, or he was commenced on. Now, it says here, active. You can use it, but passive usually is a better one. So he was commenced on, or anyway. So salutation, error, formatting, debulking, self-examined findings. Okay, now, right. That purpose is better, but still, first presented. I wouldn't do a chronology. I wouldn't. Today's visit, paragraph 2. So the Gemini version. Now I could put this into mine, actually. Hold on. I think I will. Okay. I'm back. I just got Chat to rewrite this according to my instructions. So we can see, right, so that's been changed. We've got the new purpose, writing to request your urgent assessment, further investigation. Mr. Adam Knowles, 68-year-old man. Come on there. Oh, sorry. With clinical features strongly suggestive of pancreatic malignancy. Now, obviously, these case notes are old. In the exam, it'll be use today's date. So, anyway, so that's why that's that. So, anyway, so paragraph 2 is now today's visit because it's urgent. Okay. Earlier today, Mr. Knowles was reviewed in the clinic. He had developed new symptoms with no improvement. Reflux, icterus, distended, tender abdomen, main complaint back pain, and he's lost a further 2 kilograms since his previous appointment. Okay, so that's paragraph 2. Then we've got the lab investigations, and then we've got the history. First seen, reflux at that time. Review in 4 weeks, his past medical history. I took out that about being retired and active because we don't really need that. Discuss the findings now. Explained, probably better than discussion. Oh, let's have a discussion, Mr. Knowles. Explanation, probably. But I will be grateful, urgently assess and arrange appropriate endoscopic investigation. Okay, right, so that's how I would do it. Now, what did Gemini do? What did Gemini say? Okay, that purpose is better. But again, it's got that organization. Now, it took out the stuff about retired. Okay, that's better. High probability. He's aware of the gravity of the diagnosis. Very good phrase. Appreciate urgent attention to this case. Okay, so that's not bad. But again, OET says urgent, right? Today's visit, paragraph 2. So that would certainly cost you in terms of content. Now, let's have a look at this next one. Ms Bennett. Manufacturing the medication included that. Right. Well, I don't know what the medication is, and I haven't done it yet. Thank you for. So that sounds like it's already occurred, but I haven't, and I haven't reviewed it yet. What you're doing, you're making a request. Like the first one, I'm writing to request your. Where is it? Where's the chat one? What did chat say? Writing to urgently refer. Okay, you can do that on my version. Yeah, because you're making a request. Can you do X, Y, Z? All that you're doing, essentially, you're creating a narrative. You're telling the story. So the purpose first. Can you do X, Y, Z? Why? Well, because of this. It could be a chronology, it could be a theme, or if it's urgent, the structure is different, but that's all. All that you are doing, you're constructing a narrative, you're telling a story. Okay. So, I wouldn't put that in the purpose. Now, I'm not going to show you the case notes. I have seen them. I've seen them all. Cardiologist doesn't really need this in the purpose, right? Purpose should be, what do you want me to do? To whom? And what's the chief presenting complaint or issue? That should be purpose. That's it. That's all that you need. So I won't put that there, which she never attended. Well, that's not my business. That she can't maintain appointments. Came to my appointment. Right. So Gemini. Let's see what Gemini says. Purpose. Yeah. As it says, purpose could be clearer. The content. I wouldn't agree there with a 6. I wouldn't agree there. Now, nothing wrong with passive. Nothing wrong with it. OET, if you read it, read the Ultimate Writing Guide, it says it because what passive does, it puts the patient or the treatment first. Most important stuff says, I did this and I did that, right? So again, Gemini, passive's good. In some, active, right, you'll be using a mixture of active and passive, but the main thing for passive is it puts the patient first, it puts the treatment first, all right? GP referral sentence, okay, let's have a look. Sound out of database entry. Well, right, it's obvious who provided it. It was the author of the letter, obviously. Anyway, like it says, too descriptive. Yeah. She underwent. Okay. Let's have a look. So, look, thank you for seeing again. I don't usually use this because it implies that I'm going to do it anyway, which I probably would. But commercial lawyer, name, age, occupation. Well, yeah, name, age, but. Do I need occupation in the purpose? Review of medication. So that's better, but it could be improved. I'll go and do a improved version in a second. So for the heart attack, admitted to Oakville, does it matter where? Does it matter? It was after a flight, long haul, yeah? So do we need all that? Okay, I present it today. Adverse effects, cardiovascular risk profile. That's good. That's now active use there. Yeah, that's good. Counselling, rehabilitation. That's good. That's good also. That's good. Okay, so there's some stuff here that's good, but some stuff I would definitely change. So let me put this into mine. And I'll be back in a second or two, and I'll show you what my chat version looks like. Okay, I'm back. So here's my chat version, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I had to reprompt this several times. Even though it knows how I like it, I still had to say, no, do this, do that, do this. Anyway, so let's take a look. Now, the purpose is changed. So, I mention what the medication is. It's captopril, okay? So, I'm writing to request a review of cardiac medication of Ms Bennett due to adverse effects, right? So, instead of simply saying, reviewing a medication for why, what is wrong, right? Adverse effects from captopril prescribed following a recent myocardial infarction. Okay. Now, I didn't put the discharge because, right, okay. That's not the important thing. That's not the important thing, is it? So, at review today, and obviously in the exam, it'll be, today's date. reported troublesome. Now, again, I have to keep an eye on this. Troublesome, adverse, it's basically what it's saying. Reported adverse effects from captopril. This is why I keep saying you can't leave out the human element, right? Even after prompt, still I've got to look at it and say, do we really need 2 words which basically mean the same thing? And the answer is no. Adverse effects, captopril, requested medication, so like causing considerable distress. Okay, now that's better than okay. Appointment 15/5 to ceasing the captopril. Anyway, so that is there. So the history, myocardial infarction, treatment stent insertion, discharge. That's all those. Okay. Right now, instead of that, a more concise way. Significant ongoing psychosocial stress related to recent personal circumstances. I don't need to know what those are, right? You don't need that level of detail, okay? 20 cigarettes, blah, 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 alcohol, okay. Grateful if you could review. Cardiac meds, consider an alternative to captopril. Reinforce the importance of lifestyle mods and engagement. Right, so you can see how my version is pretty good, obviously with quite a lot of iterative prompting from me, because it didn't do that. Didn't do that originally, but you can see that's definitely an improvement. Now let's see what Gemini did, what Gemini said. What did Gemini do? What did Gemini say? Let's have a look. Martial lawyer, we don't need that. Review of meds, okay. Heart attack, okay. Discontinue captopril, special advice, okay. So that's not too bad, but I think you will agree, I certainly hope so, that my version is better. My chat version, which I've trained, even though I have to keep on iteratively prompting it, I think you'll find that my version is better. So what you can do, right, you can pause the video. So I'll just get that on there. Okay, so what you can do, so this is the original and this is mine. Well, chat's mine. Okay, you can pause it, you can read it. I'll just put it down a bit so you can stop it, pause it, you can read it. I might make this available for download. If so, I'll put a link in the description box. You can see that there. Okay, you can read that. Okay, you can see the closing. And I'll put the Gemini version up so you can see that. Okay, so you've got the original, the Gemini version, you've got my version. I'll sort all this out. I'll put the 3 versions for letter 1 and 2. I'll put it on my learning management system, and I'll put a download link there so you can download those. You can do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so that's letter 2. And if we scroll up to the first one, again, you can see the Gemini version, and you can see my reworked and the where is it? Original version. Is this it? Ah, yes, this is it here. Okay, so you've got the Gemini version, original, and my chat assisted version. Okay, so I hope that gives you some ideas. Gemini, as I explained before, all these AI bots, they're okay for certain things, but you need a human element. You need somebody who knows what they're doing to say, change that, that's good, keep that, etc. Anyway, I hope that helps. I'll give you some ideas, okay? And I'll see you next time. Links below. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to contact me anytime at all. Okay, I'll leave that go. One final comment. I can't be bothered with editing, cutting out, coughing and shit. You know, I just don't have the time, don't have the energy, don't have the patience. Too busy. So this is why my videos are pretty rough and ready, kind of like the man who makes them. I haven't got time for polishing and cutting this out and having a shave and putting some nice clothes on. So mine are just information based. If you like it, subscribe. Feel free to subscribe. Links below. Contact me anytime. LinkedIn, iTalki, etc. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.